Hey y'all, it's Trinity, and in this week's video, I'm going to be giving you some advice to have a successful school year. So yeah, let's get started. So for context, I'm a straight A student. I have a 3.98 unweighted GPA, and then my weighted GPA is it's a 4.2 or 3. It's either 4.2 or 4.3, I don't remember. But I have a pretty high GPA. I'm an all A student. So any of this advice that I'm saying is from my personal experience and how I've had successful school years thus far in high school, middle school, and elementary school. Although I doubt that anyone that's in elementary school is going to be watching this if they're trying to get high grades, but you know what I mean. You can trust my advice because I'm successful in school. So let's talk. I'm going to be focusing on the academic aspects, but I'm also going to be talking about like friendships, relationships, all that type of stuff. So stick around even if you're not looking for having high grades, I guess. Alright, so I want to start off by talking about how to stay organized. I think the first thing that you have to start with in any school year before you worry about friends, teachers, getting high grades is making sure that you are organized. So for organization to me means like having all your books together, making sure that all of your stuff is written down, everything. So the first thing that you want to do before the school year even starts, once you know all your classes, you have all of your supplies, is you want to mark off all your notebooks with the classes that correspond to them. If you're typing on Google Documents, like that's the only thing you use for notes, this doesn't really apply. But if you're in middle school and high school and you're not really supposed to use your laptop for notes, because I know some teachers really do not like having laptops in their classrooms, make sure that you are writing down class names on your notebooks, your folders, all that stuff, because even if it's not really that big of a deal in the beginning of the year, as it gets closer to midterms and finals, it'll be very important that all your stuff is together. Now, what I do personally, and this really helps and is one of the reasons on tests I usually have one of the higher grades, and sometimes I even set the curve, is I always make sure that all of my tests and quizzes are together. So I'm in high school right now. I'm going to be a junior this year. Absolutely love that for me. Please pray, because I heard that it's like the worst year ever, but please pray for me. So for midterms and finals, but specifically midterms because that's the one that's going to be closest to when this video is being uploaded for a lot of people, I make sure that all of my quizzes, tests do not get thrown away. Even things that like little pop-up quizzes only like to have 2 questions, I still keep those. If there's any like Google, girl, what's up? She's going into kindergarten, so she should watch this video too when it comes out so she can have a successful kindergarten year. Anyways, so make sure that you keep all your test quizzes. If you do any tests online, I would recommend storing it in your Gmail just so you can come back to it. And I do not throw away any of those things. I don't really delete any emails, which is kind of bad. I probably should because it's taking up storage. But I don't delete emails at all. That's kind of important because I can always type into my Gmail or mail like any things that I need. That's just me personally, but you do you. But keep all those things, and then after midterms, finals, if your teacher specifically says that none of those things will be on your final, throw them out. That's what I do. I don't clear out any of my papers until midterms, throw out all of those things, then I start back over with finals. Yeah, I keep all my stuff up until midterms. I also keep assignments. That's just me, because assignments can sometimes be very helpful, looking directly at the way teachers may type things or where they get their information from for when you're studying. But keep all that together for midterms and then throw away finals. Keep all the stuff up to finals, then throw away all the extra papers at the very end of the year. That's just how I keep organized personally, like for tests and stuff. And I'm also going to talk about studying, but that's like a very specific thing that I know a lot of people are talking about. So that's one of the ways I stay organized. Another thing is I like to color code my notes. One thing is like if it's definitions, I highlight them from different things from just like general information. Also, if a teacher says that something is not going to be on the test, I write it down anyways, just in case. Unless a teacher, like you've had a teacher for multiple times, because my school is pretty small, so teachers teach multiple classes, so you usually end up having one teacher for multiple classes throughout high school. Like if I know a teacher, if they say it's not going to be a test, it's not, I won't bother writing it down. But there's some teachers that are tricky and are like, well, I did mention it that one time, so you should have known. So I write it down anyways. That's just a personal thing. you do you, because I know some teachers, they really mean it when they say it won't be on the test. So also for organization, you want to make sure that from the get-go, how you set up your pencil case, your books, even your binder, try and keep up with that throughout the entire year. And I know that's difficult, but I take all my notes in one binder, so I don't really have separate notebooks, but my binder is sectioned off into different things. Whenever I have to take notes for classes, I keep it in that binder and I put it in its right section. And if I accidentally write something in the wrong section, I move that paper to that section, because it's going to help you out so much, so you're not searching for your notes throughout various things when it's time for tests. Because it won't only help you for midterms and finals, it'll just help you for like general like tests every like 2-3 weeks. So keep that in mind. That's what I have to say about organization. Hopefully that helps. Let's move on. One thing that is very important is studying, and although in the very beginning of the year studying is not that important because you're not taking that many tests and quizzes except for like the pre-test, but even then they kind of want you to have no knowledge anyway, so they know what they can teach. So when it comes to studying, more so as you get farther into the year, especially as you get closer to midterms and finals, my main thing is time blocking. There's a lot of websites. I don't know what website I use. If I remember, I'll put it on screen, but I don't remember. I always switch around. Or even YouTube, they have people that'll be like, study for 15 minutes, stop for 5, study for 15. You don't really want to just cram the night before, because although sometimes it'll work, a lot of times it also won't, because your memory, you're not going to retain all of the information you learn. You're probably just going to remember only the very beginning or only the very end. I would not recommend cramming. Literally every single test and or quiz that I have like crammed all the information all in my head one night, not like 2 nights before, one night, the night before, especially if it's like a morning class, I failed. And if I didn't fail, I like barely passed. I would not recommend doing that. And I'm not saying you need to study like 2-3 weeks before, like some teachers seem to make it. No, I don't do none of that. But like, try and give yourself at least minimum 3 days. I really recommend like studying as soon as the teacher tells you there's going to be a test. I would study from then on. If they only give you 3 days, and that's how much time you have to study. Because if a teacher is warning you about a test, that means that they're telling you need to start studying as soon as they tell you. But if they tell you about a test like a month before, then I would start studying about a week to 3 days before. That's just me. That's what works for me. It's a little bit different for everyone. See what works for you. But I'm telling you, studying the night before is not the way to go, because you're not going to retain as much as you think you're going to retain. There's a reason you keep getting C's on all those tests and quizzes, okay? If you want to be successful. And that doesn't even, like, when I say successful, I don't even mean like, oh, you're getting all A's. I mean you're not failing all of your assignments. You're getting at least like a low B, like you're getting like a 79-80% on all of your assignments. That's what I mean by successful. I mean you're not a C average student, okay? You're not a D average student. So if you want to be successful, don't study the night before only. Like, studying the night before is important, but don't only study the night before. It's not helpful to your, it's not helpful up here. It's not going to help you. Oh, another thing that's good for studying that I've seen a lot of people do, and this does help, if your teacher's cool with you eating mints or gum during the test, then when you're studying, chew or eat the same type of gum that you'll do when you take the test. It'll help you remember your, like, the stuff that you studied. I know a lot of teachers don't let you listen to music or anything, but if you are allowed to listen to music, first, don't listen to any musical words because it'll distract you. Listen like a classical song, and then the same one that you listen to when you're studying, listen to when you take the test, if your teacher allows you to do that. At my school, we don't really do that except for during assignments. During tests and quizzes, we're not really supposed to listen to music. But if your teacher allows you to do that, then I would highly recommend doing that. That also is known to help with studying. That's it for studying. Hopefully that helps. Let's move on. So when I asked over on my Instagram what you guys wanted to hear about, the first 2 did come up, but another thing that came up a lot was staying productive and not getting distracted. This kind of goes into the studying with the distracted part. So I'm gonna start with the how to not get distracted. Now for me, I get very distracted when I'm reading, when I'm studying, when I literally do anything other like if I'm watching TV, I get distracted. I get distracted when people talk to me. I get distracted during everything. But one way I do try to pay more attention is like putting my phone in a place that's harder to find, or you can even hand someone your phone and have them hide it. I also, when I study, there's like, if you have an iPhone, I don't know if it's the same for Androids, but I know iPhones, they have like this focus thing, and you can like make a focus so only certain apps are available unless you like are searching for something. You can make it so that certain messages won't even go through, and I do that when I'm studying, so the only people that can message me are my parents and then my siblings if they need me thing, and then I can't really access any apps. You can also set timers on your apps so you're not as distracted during school days, because you can set timers and then like have a code that like a parent or someone else sets for you if you really need that. Because saying not distracted can be like not being distracted during your sports season, not being distracted when you're trying to take tests, whatever works for you. So you can set timers for your apps, although like I said, that doesn't work for everyone because a lot of people will just bypass and don't really care about the timer. That's partially me, but also it depends. Also, not staying distracted, I wouldn't recommend sitting next to a window or anything that like is gonna be distracting your eyes a lot. Like if you feel like sitting next to a window distracts you, then I wouldn't sit next to a window. You want to be in a place that's very quiet. Like if you have a lot of siblings like me, don't study when all your siblings are running around you. Like find like a private place to study, even if you have to go to like your parents' room, if you have to go to a sibling's room, if you have to go to the bathroom. There are people in my class that say that they study in the bathtub. So at least I think they said something about some bathtub, and either they read their Bible or they like study in the bathtub, something like that. So that's an option. You have to make sure you find a place that's quiet and you have solitude in, because if you're in a place that's distracting, it doesn't matter what all you do, you're going to be distracted anyways. So be aware of your surroundings. Now when it comes to being productive, this is a little bit different. I feel like being productive is partially on your mindset. Also, what I do personally to stay productive is I kind of give myself rewards for doing XYZ thing, whether it be like, oh, if I study for, I don't know, like an hour and 30 minutes, then I can go get some ice cream. Or if I finish my paper early, then like I'll see if I can go to my friend's house for a sleepover. Stuff like that. Like I try and make certain things reward based. Kind of like with a toddler, when you're trying to like potty train them or something, you give them like a candy or something so they'll do whatever. Stuff like that. So you can reward yourself, or even say that you can't do whatever thing until you finish something. That's one way I do it. Staying productive, keep it like another thing, like I said, it also has to do with mindset. So if you tell yourself that like you're gonna be so proud of what you do once you're finished with like your assignment, like you're gonna be proud of this paper is gonna be awesome, you're gonna get an A on this assignment, that also makes you feel more productive. You're gonna want to do better, you're gonna want to do it faster and more efficiently while still making a good paper or essay or doing a good job on your test. That's one of the ways you can stay productive. So it's being productive. Hopefully the next thing I'm going to talk about is finding good friends. This is one that I kind of felt out of place, but also I think it's really important to say. Now, I don't feel qualified to talk about this because I don't really have that many like close friends at my school. Like there are people that I would consider friends and acquaintances, but like they probably couldn't say my favorite color, if you know what I mean. Like they follow me on my Instagram and they might watch my YouTube channel, but like they don't know what I did this summer, friends, you know what I mean? Like they're people that like we go to the same school, we sit at the same lunch table, so we talk, friends. So I'm going off of like the genuine friends I've had in the past that like for whatever reason we just kind of lost contact or whatever. When it comes to finding genuine friends, if your only like thing in common is something that you dislike, the only thing in common that you have is that you like the same like one thing, the only thing you have in common is that you go to the same school, they're probably not going to be as genuine of a friend as you want them to be. How my mom described it is you want to have friends that are you don't want to have friends that are just for what you're for, against what you're against, or are just in the same vicinity as you. You want people that are for you and people that you are for. Like you want people that support you, that don't really care what you like or don't like, they just like you as a person, people that you actually have fun talking to. even sometimes it's good having friends, like genuine friends that you disagree with. Those are the type of people you want to surround yourself with. And when it comes to my genuine friends, if you feel negative around certain people, if you feel like you're always down, if you feel like people are always insulting you when you're around them, those are not genuine friends and you need to drop them. I'm just going to say right there. Genuine friends will uplift you, they'll compliment you, they'll be kind to you. You don't have to do things for their affection, stuff like that. Those are the type of genuine, like, that's a genuine friend. You don't need to search for that. They'll kind of come to you as long as you are being kind, complimenting people, being nice. Like, they will come to you. So I wouldn't be too worried about finding genuine friends. Another thing is you have to be open to talking to people. If you're extremely shy like me, you kind of have to open up at a certain extent. Like, literally every year. I've been going to the same school for 2 years because I'm in high school now, and pretty much like the first week of school, I usually don't talk to many people because I'm trying to scope out things, but eventually you gotta talk to like make friends, to rebuild connections with people that you may have lost contact with over the summer, stuff like that. If you just sit there, don't talk to people, and you don't go out of your way to really do anything, people aren't going to want to talk to you because it seems like you don't really care anyways. Like, you have to put some effort in. That's important. And I had to learn that the hard way, that you do have to put some effort in to make friends. You can't just sit around and hope that someone will come in your way. You do have to put in some effort. But finding genuine friends isn't necessarily hard. It's just you have to be careful who you trust and who you think are genuine friends, because there are people that appear to be genuine but they really aren't. You don't want to necessarily be friends with people that just gossip, because I promise to you, if they're gossiping about people that they seem like they're friends with, they're gossiping about you just as much. So just be careful about that. Just be aware of how the people that you interact with talk, say, think. But if you feel like they're not genuine, it's probably because they're not. And that's the biggest thing. Trust your gut. If you feel like they're not good people, they probably aren't. If you feel like they're good people and you want to be friends with them, then they probably are. If you want to find genuine friends, trust your gut and pay attention to how they act to other people. So that's genuine friends. Let's move on. For this one, I'm going to talk about relationships. And when I say that, it kind of goes with friendships, but I feel like it kind of is on section. And the only thing I'm going to say to this is don't waste your time. Like, don't waste your time. Boys, don't waste your time with girls. Girls, don't waste your time with boys. All it's going to do is make you fail, like, academically. It's just a distraction. And honestly, unless you really, really, really feel like someone cares about you, they actively are doing things with their actions to show that they like you. They're not just using their words, nor are they just using their actions. They're doing both. It's probably not worth it, and it probably won't last, so don't even waste your time. All it's gonna do is set you back, and that is the truth. Don't waste your time with anyone until, like, you're out of high school. That's just my opinion. That's just me. Unless you really, really find someone that you genuinely believe is for you, just like with the friends. Don't waste your time with it. That's the one thing I gotta say. Before I end this video, I just want to say that I'm starting to kind of run out of video ideas. I know, like, for like the night before school I want to do something, and the first day of school I want to do something, but other than that I really don't have that many video ideas. So if there's anything that you guys really want to see from me, please tell me down below. The comments are open. You're welcome to say anything you want. If there's any videos that you really don't like seeing or you're getting tired of, also let me know down below, because I know I've kind of been repeating video ideas and they've just been a little bit different due to what I'm doing during the day. So if there's anything that you don't like, also tell me down below. That I'm very open to constructive criticism, as long as you're not straight up being like, you're ugly. Don't do any videos that show your face. Like, if you're saying something like that, leave it to yourself. But if you're saying like, oh, I don't like as many of the daily vlogs as I do like the Get Ready With Me, that's a good comment. Please let me know down below, because I don't know exactly what you guys like. Also, I have a Fiverr, so if you need any help with music, if you need any help and you want to give like a coloring page to your kid or sibling, please let me know down below. It'll be in the comment sections. Even if it says I'm offline, I'm almost always on my phone, so if you message me, I will see it. So just let me know down below if you need any help with any of that. And also, last thing before we end the video, I have a discount code with every Jewels. It's Trinity 951, TRINITY 951 for 50% off the entire store. And on top of that, I believe they're also doing another pretty big sale because their Instagram just came back. So if you want any every Jewels, which I'm actually wearing right now, this, not the heart one, this necklace right here is from Every Jewels, as well as this little ear cuff. And I'm also planning on buying some more stuff from them today. I'm gonna show on the screen what I'm gonna get. But if you want anything from Every Jewels, I'm going to leave my link down below. I'll get a little tiny percentage of what you buy, but you'll also be getting a pretty big discount. So that will also be down below in the comment section. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, or comment down below. Any of which would be awesome. And if you can, make sure to follow me on my Instagram. We're going to start an amazing community on there, and I'm actually starting to post again. So yeah, I'll see you all next week. Bye!
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're with me. It felt like such